Here's an apologist admitting that nothing could change his mind.
When will I walk away? For me, when I'm so diseased or my brain so deteriorated that I'm no longer myself in my rational mind. Listen to me, we're not going anywhere. And if you came to Christ partly because God used Trinity Radio or my ministry apart from Trinity Radio, hear me loud and clear. I've said plenty about the ways in which I'm open and my views are falsifiable. But I want everyone who calls himself or herself a committed Christian to consider this deeply. I'm not ashamed to tell you that I will always be a Christian. What meaning does it have to say I have bent the knee to the king if I may go AWOL in the midst of the chaos? I have bent the knee, and I will not defect. In our tribe at Trinity, loyalty means quite a bit. And we aren't just loyal to each other. We're loyal to each other because we found a reliable master. We're in the kingdom, and we're proud citizens of it. I belong to Jesus Christ. He is my Lord, and I will never surrender.
For context, the reason he's putting this out here is in response to apologist Tyler Vela deconverting from Christianity. Cameron Bertuzzi also made a move to Catholicism, but I don't think that's playing a major role in the reason he said what he just said, but I could be wrong. Regardless, things like these always produce a feeling of unease among the Christian community, and Braxton's recent video is obviously directed at uneasy Christians. You may see people changing their mind in major ways all around you, but not here at Trinity Radio. Bravado like this functions both to make people feel safe for being a part of his team and also to make Braxton feel safe. I mean, if you just beat your chest and shout, "I will never deconvert," enough times, it will be true, right? It really is hard to say whether he's primarily preaching to his audience or himself here. After all, posturing like this can be a sign of deep insecurity, in at least some cases. Anyway, plenty of people talk just like Braxton is here and then deconvert. So there's really no way for Christians watching his channel to know that he won't defect. There's really no way for him to know that he won't either. I will never fall away! Never!
How do you know that, Reginald?
Well, God, you gave me the Holy Spirit, and those who have the Holy Spirit can never fall away.
How do you know that I gave you the Holy Spirit?
Well, because I sense His presence in my life and in my heart.
Didn't every deconvert ever say that in the past?
It's different for me. I'm special.
If you say so.
What's weird is that even Christians who believe that those who have the Holy Spirit can't fall away don't all pound their fist on the table like Braxton is doing here.
And I'm not saying I don't have those late night experiences where it usually takes the form not of historically is it false, but are you false? Are you doing this for the praise of man? Are you energized really by all this? People coming to conferences, and so this is really a game for you. That's the kind of thought that breaks over my mind. That I could be so deceived that I would actually do religion like this on a total ego trip and not be a genuine Christian at all. I think that's a demonic thought. I think straight out of hell, and I don't resist it by saying it couldn't be. I resist it by renouncing pride.
Nuance and humility are allowed, Braxton. But anyway, what do we as skeptics do with people like this? Is it even worth engaging them or the ideas that they put forward? Whether it's worth it will depend on your goals, but there's certainly nothing compelling you to. Just continuing on and saying, "Have a nice day," is a perfectly reasonable response. I also think mockery is appropriate when people make bombastic claims about never being willing to change their mind no matter what on controversial topics swirling in pure disagreement. Braxton, you're being stupid. Anyway, I actually think it can be useful to push back against apologists and their arguments, even if they aren't the real reason a lot of people come to faith. If a tribe of people is going around chest-thumping and shouting about how obviously true Christianity is because of some shotgun blast of arguments, then the act of showing those arguments to be inconclusive or bad leaves them without excuse, to use a biblical phrase, for their continued behavior. If they keep acting like that anyway, then it makes them look bad, which is a win for us. Further, I also think people can be convinced that arguments for Christianity or theism are much weaker than they previously thought. This actually happens all the time, but it doesn't guarantee one particular result. For some, it causes deconversion. For others, it turns them into a more liberal Christian. And some just retreat to a more presuppositional approach to Christianity. This last one isn't always as bad as it sounds, because it's often a last stop before leaving faith. A last attempt to hold on after realizing that traditional arguments don't get you very far. This was true for me, and I know others for whom it was true as well. Long story short, as disheartening as this Braxton clip can be for skeptics, there's at least some hope. Because let's face it, grounding an unwavering confidence in the truth of Christianity by appealing to religious experience is a terrible foundation. Tap this video next to me to find out why.